Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. So, kung anong oras man ninyo napapanood ang video na ito. So, for this video, we're going to define the measures of position and illustrate measures of position. So, for this particular video, ang una ko munang i-illustrate sa inyo is how to find quartiles. So, when we say measure of position shows where a certain data or value falls in a sample of array of distribution. It can state whether a value is about the average or whether it is unusually high or low compared to the data as a whole. So sa measure of position, ang hinahanap natin is the position of a data. Yung posisyon ng isang data from a sample or an array of distribution. So there are three common measures of position. So ito yung pag-aaralan natin for fourth quarter. Quartile, decile, and percentile. So for this particular video, ang una muna nating i-illustrate is how to find the quartiles. So when we say quartiles, from the word quart, di ba? When you say quart, it means 4. So quartiles are points that divide the data into 4 equal parts. So for example, this this line, itong line na ito. So let's say this line represents a distribution. So hahatiin natin, yung quartiles, hinahati niya itong distribution into 4 equal parts. Ito yung first part, second part, third part, and fourth part. Nasaan dyan yung quartiles? So, ibang sabi, ang quartiles, these are points. These are numbers. The quartiles are the numbers in the distribution. So, these are points in the distribution. So, for the first point, we have the quartile 1, or the first quartile. The first quartile is a number such that at most 1/4 or 25% of the data are smaller in value than quartile 1, and at most 3/4 or 75% are larger than Q1. It is also called the lower quartile. Then we have Q2. Q2, or the second quartile, is 50% of the distribution. It is also called the median, yung gitna ng distribution ninyo. So second quartile, or Q2, is a number such that at most 1/2 or 50% of the data are below and above in value than Q2. Second quartile is also known as median. So, during your grade 7, pinag-aralan nyo yung measures of central tendency. So, isa doon is how to find the median of a distribution. And then, lastly, we have Q3. Q3, or third quartile, is a number such that at most 3/4 or 75% of the distribution are smaller in value than Q3, and at most 1/4 or 25% are larger than Q3. It is also called the upper quartile. So, for this particular video, hindi muna tayo mag-i-interpret ng result. Sa susunod na video ko na ituturo sa inyo how to interpret the result. Ang gagawin muna natin is how to find the quartiles of the distribution, yung Q1, Q2, and Q3. So, let's have an example. Okay, so this is the example. The owner of a coffee shop recorded the number of customers who came into his cafe each hour in a day. The results were 14, 10, 12, 9, 17, 5, 6. This is 6 people. 9, 14, 10, 11. So, yung may-ari daw ng isang coffee shop, nire-record niya yung bilang ng pumapasok na customer sa kanyang cafe sa bawat oras sa loob ng isang araw. So, ito yung nire-record niya. na bilang ng mga customers bawat oras. 14, 10, 12, 9, 17, 5, 6, 9, 14, 10, 11. Find the lower quartile or Q1 and the upper quartile or Q3 of the data. Okay, so sagutan natin siya. So, ang first step natin, okay, for the first step, ang gagawin natin is to arrange your scores in ascending order or arrange the data in ascending order. So, when we say ascending order, yung data ninyo naka-arrange from lowest to highest. So, dito sa mga data na ito, itong mga to, iaayos natin siya from the lowest number, lowest data up to the highest data. Pagsusunod-sunod rin. So, ang lowest is 5. Okay, wait. So, we have 5. Then, we have 6. 5, 6, then 9. Dalawa yung 9. So, dahil dalawa ang 9, dalawa rin yung isusulat natin. 9, 9. Then, dalawang 10. 10. 10. Then, we have 11. Then, we have 12. Then, we have 14. Dalawa yung 14. Then, we have 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So, 5, 6, 9, 9, 10, 10, 11, 12, 14, 14, 17. After arranging the scores in ascending order, determine the least value and the greatest value. So, yung least value, yung nasa dulo, sa kaliwa. So, this is the least value. Ito yung ating least value. And ano yung highest value? So, the highest value, of course, is 17. Okay, after that, determine the middle value. So, when you say the middle value, this is quartile 2, the median. So, there are 11 data. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So, kung may 11 data, ano yung nasa gitna nung 11 na yon? Yung nasa gitna is yung pang-anim. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, the middle value is 10. Tama ba? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, 10 is the middle value or Q2. This is quartile 2 or the median. Next, so meron na tayong least value, meron na tayong highest value, meron na tayong middle value. After that, let us determine Q1 or quartile 1. So, how do we determine quartile 1 or the lower quartile? So, ang sabi, to find quartile 1 or Q1, Q1 or lower quartile is the middle value between the least value and Q2. Kaya pinahanap sa inyo kanina kung ano yung least value and middle value. Kasi, kukunin natin yung Q1 sa pagitan ng least value and middle value. So, kuhanin ninyo kung ano yung gitna, the middle value between the least value and the middle value. So, ito yung ating lower half. Ano yung gitna niya? So, ito. So, the middle value is 9. Tama ba? The middle value is 9. Kasi kung ito yung least, ito yung middle value, ang nasa pagitan niya is yung 9. So, Q1 is equal to 9. So, therefore, the lower quartile is equal to 9. So, this is our lower quartile. How about Q3 or the third quartile? So, the third quartile, so kung yung first quartile or Q1 is the middle value between the least value and the middle value, yung quartile 3 naman or third quartile, this is the upper quartile, the upper quartile or Q3, this is the middle value between Q2 and the highest value. So, yung nasa pagitan ng middle value and highest value. So, ano yung nasa gitna niya? 11, 14, 12, 14. Ang nasa pagitan niya is itong 12 and 14. So, pag ganitong dalawang value ang nasa pagitan niya, paano natin kukunin? Yung middle value between these two. So, i-add lang natin siya. 12 plus 14 divide 2. 12 plus 14 is 26 divide 2 is 13. So, therefore, third quartile or upper quartile is equal to 13. Yan. So, nakuha na natin ang Q1. Q1 is equal to 9 or that is our lower quartile. And then, ang Q3 naman natin is 13. That is our upper quartile. Kanina, hindi na tayo nag-add and divide dito kasi parehong 9 yung nasa gitna. So, isa na yun. Yun na yun, 9. So, ano naman yung Q2? Kahit hindi sinabing kunin, ilagay na rin natin. So, ang Q2 natin is equal to 10. This is the median. Okay? Another way of finding the quartile is by using let's have another example pala muna bago tayo mag-another method. Let's have another example of finding the quartile. So, find Q1, Q2, and Q3 of the following data. So, we have 13, 4, 3, 5, 7, 10, 9, and 11. So, ano yung gagawin natin? Okay, yes. So, arrange the data from the lowest value up to the highest value or ascending order. So, the lowest value is 3. 3. Then, we have 4. Then, we have 5. 7. Then, we have 9. 10. Then, we have 11. So, 3. And then, we have 13 also. Okay. 3, 4, 5, 7, 9, 10, 11, and then 13. So, ang una muna natin gawin is to determine the middle value or Q2. Kasi, mas madaling kuhanin yung Q1 and Q3 kung alam na natin kung ano ang Q2. Okay? So, ang lowest value is 3. This is the lowest value. Then, the highest value is 13. So, ano yung nasa pagitan ng lowest value and highest value? O yung pagitan nitong data na ito? How many data do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, we have 8 data. Kung 8 data siya, ang gitna niya is yung nasa pagitan ng fourth and fifth data. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the fourth data and this is the fifth data. So, may dalawa tayong value na nasa gitna nitong mga datas na ito. So, kung dalawa yung value na nasa gitna, paano natin nasabi na dalawa yung value sa gitna? Simple lang naman. So, kung 8 siya, pag hinati mo yung 8, tig-4 yung magkabilang lower half and upper half. So, kung tig-4 siya, yung nasa pagitan is yung 7 and 9. So, yung gitna ng 7 and 9, that is our Q2. So, para makuha yung Q2, yung 7 and 9, i-add natin siya, 7 plus 9, and then divide it by 2. 7 plus 9 is 16. 16 divided by 2 is 8. So, our Q2 is equal to 8. How about quartile 1? So, quartile 1 is the middle value between the lowest value and the median. So, yung median natin is nasa pagitan ng 7 and 9. So, ano ang nasa gitna niya? Ano yung nasa gitna ng least value and the median? So, ang median natin itong dalawang to. So, ang nasa pagitan niya is 4 and 5. So, 4 plus 5 divide 2, that is 9. Divide 2, that is 4.5. So, therefore, our Q1 is equal to 4.5. How about the third quartile or Q3. So, ang third quartile is the middle value between the median and the highest value. So, ano yung nasa pagitan ng median and the highest value? 10 and 11. So, 10 plus 11 divided by 2. 21 divide 2 is equal to 10.5. Yes, is equal to 10.5. So, therefore, Q3 is equal to 10.5. So, kapag dalawa yung nasa pagitan ng dalawang value, add nyo lang and then divide 2. Kung isa lang yung nasa gitna niya, yun na yung ating quartile na hinahanap. Okay, so let's have another method in finding the quartile. So, another method is by using the Mendenhall and Sinkage method. So, Mendenhall and Sinkage method, ang hinahanap natin is the position of the data. Ang hinahanap natin is yung position ng data, and then binibilang na lang natin yung data according to the position. Okay? So, for Q1, gagamitin natin yung formula na 1/4 times the quantity n plus 1. So, lagyan natin siya ng symbol. So, let's say yung Q1 natin is lagyan natin ng symbol na L. Okay, or lower quartile. So, for Q1 or L, so, we use the formula 1/4 times n plus 1. So, that is the position of Q1. So, kung ang makukuha natin is a decimal, i-round off natin siya to the nearest integer. Kapag ni-round off natin siya, and if L, so yung L is the Q1, if L falls halfway, so kung let's say nag-round off tayo, tas ang nakuha natin is may 0.5 halfway, between two integers, magra-round up tayo, round up. Okay? Kapag naman Q3 or U, upper quartile, we use the formula 3/4 times the quantity n plus 1. So, that is the position of Q3. So, ganun din, magra-round off tayo, round off to the nearest integer. If U falls halfway between two integers, round down. So, kapag L or Q1 at ang kinuha natin yung position niya, decimal yung nakuha natin, kapag 0.5 siya, halfway between two integers, round up. Kapag naman U or the upper quartile, we use 3/4 times the quantity n plus 1, and ang nakuha din natin is may decimal na 0.5, round down naman ang gagawin natin. Okay? So, let's have an example. Ito na yung example. Use Mendenhall and Sinkage method to find Q1 and Q3. So, ito yung given. 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, and 81. So, the data are already arranged from the lowest value up to the highest value. So, ang gagawin na lang natin is use the two formula in determining Q1 and Q3. So, dun muna tayo sa Q1. So, sa Q1 or L, gagamitin natin is 1/4 times n plus 1. N is the number of data in the distribution. Laging kapag sa stat, ang n lagi is, the small n is the number of data in the distribution. So, ilan yung data natin? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, n is equal to 9. Okay. So, this is 1/4 times 9 plus 1. So, this is 1/4 times 10. Pwede kayong mag-calcu, pwede ring hindi. So, 1 times 10 is 10 over 4. 10 divided by 4 is 5 over 2. Ano yung 5 over 2? That is 2.5. So, yung L natin is equal to 2.5. So, kung 2.5 siya, katulad ng sinabi sa inyo kanina, round off to the nearest integer. if L falls halfway between two integers, round up. Ito yung round up. Ito yung sinasabi kong yung L natin, it falls halfway between two integers. 0.5 siya. So, kapag 0.5 siya, round up yung L natin. So, yung 2.5 ninyo is magiging 3. So, that means the position of Q1 or quartile 3 is the third data. Okay, mamaya magbibilang tayo kung ano yung third data natin. Then, kuhanin naman natin ang Q3. Okay, let's solve for Q3. Nasaan na yung mga typewriting ko dito? Okay, naubusan na ako ng bond paper. Dito na lang. Q3. So, sa Q3 or U, ang formula naman natin is 3/4 times N plus 1. So, 3/4, ang N pa rin natin is 9 plus 1. So, this is 3/4 times 10. Pwedeng multiply na ninyo 3 times 10 divided by 4. So, that is 30 divided by 4. At pwede rin naman kayong cancellation. 10 and 4. This is 5/2. 3 times 5 is 15 divided by 2, and that is 7.5. So, yung U natin is equal to 7.5. So, yung nakuha natin is halfway between two integers. Kasi 0.5 yung kanyang decimal. So, pag U at ang nakuha nating decimal is 0.5, ano ang sabi? Round down ang gagamitin natin. So, yung 7.5, that is equal to 7. So, ang U natin is the 7th data. So, the third quartile is the 7th data. Ito kanina, Ito kanina yung ating value. 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, and 81. So, this is the first data. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, and so on. So, bibilangin lang natin kung nasaan yung third data and yung seventh data. Ano yung third data natin? The third data is Q3. So, therefore, Q1 is equal to 9. How about the seventh data, yung U na nakuha natin? So, 1, 2, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. This is the seventh data. So, therefore, ang ating Q3 is equal to 49. So, Q1 is equal to 9 and Q3 is equal to 49. How about Q2, the median? Paano naman natin hahanapin kung ano ang median? Yung median yung gitna lang niya. Ano ba yung gitna niya? So, since meron tayong 9th data, ang gitna niya is the 5th data. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, ang ating median is equal to 25. Okay? And then we have the last method, the linear interpolation. So, yung linear interpolation, ito rin yung gagamitin natin sa pagkuha ng decile and percentile sa mga susunod na video na gagawin natin. So, for quartile, by using linear interpolation, so let's have an example. Find Q1 and Q3 given the scores of 9 students in a math quiz. Use linear interpolation. Nasaan yung data? Teka lang, ha? Okay, so use linear interpolation. 1, 27, 16, 7, 31, 7, 33, and 21. So, ang first step natin is to arrange your data in ascending order. So, isulat natin siya in ascending order. So, we have 1. Anong kasunod? 7. Again, 7 ulit. Dalawa yung 7 natin. And then, we have 1. Meron pa palang 3. Yan, yun na nga. 1, 3, 7, 7. Then, we have 16. 16, 21, 27, 30, and 31. Kompleto ba? 1, 3, 1, and then we have 3, then we have 2, 7, then we have 16, then we have 21, 27, 30, and 31. After arranging your scores from lowest to highest or ascending order, ang next step natin is to determine the position of your data. In determining the position, yung natatandaan ninyo yung formula natin sa Mendenhall and Sinkage. So, yun din ang gagamitin natin. So, unahin muna natin ang first quartile or Q1. So, yung L natin. So, yung L natin is 1/4 times N plus 1. So, this is 1/4. So, ang N natin ay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 plus 1. So, this is 1/4 times 10. So, this is 10 over 4 or 5 over 2. 5 divided by 2, that is 2.5. Okay? So, 2.5. So, hanapin muna natin is the first quartile. So, hindi na tayo mag-round up or round down dito. So, ang gagamitin natin is the linear interpolation. So, ano yung step ng linear interpolation? After nyong makuha yung L, so yung L natin is 2.5. Yung 2.5 is between, this is between, di ba yung 2.5 nasa pagitan siya ng 2 and 3? So, this is between the second and third data, yung 2.5. Hanapin niyo yung second and third data dito. The second and third data is 3 and 7. Tama ba? So, ang gagawin natin, first step natin is to subtract the second data from the third data. So, the second data is 3, the third data is 7. So, that is 7 minus 3. So, magsusubtract tayo. What is 7 minus 3? 7 minus 3 is equal to 4. Next step, yung 4 na nakuha ninyo, mumultiply natin siya dito sa decimal na nakuha natin na 0.5. So, 4 times 0.5. So, first step is to subtract the second data from the third data. So, 7 minus 3 is equal to 4. Second step is to multiply the difference to the decimal that we get in L. So, 4, mumultiply natin dun sa 0.5. So, 4 times 0.5 is equal to 2. After that, yung 2 na nakuha natin, ipa-plus natin siya, i-add natin siya doon sa smaller data. We have two datas, di ba? The second data and the third data. Doon sa second and third data, ano yung smallest sa kanilang dalawa? The smallest is 3. So, yung 3 na yon idadagdag natin doon sa product ng 4 and 5. So, 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. Therefore, Q1 is equal to 5. So, by linear interpolation, the first quartile is equal to 5. How about the third quartile? Sa third quartile, ganun din yung step natin. Ang pinagkaiba lang niya is yung formula ng U. Kasi upper quartile or Q3 ang kinukuha natin. So, ang U naman ay 3/4 times N plus 1. So, this is 3/4 times, ang N natin is 9 plus 1. So, this is 3/4 times 10. So, this is 30 divided by 4. And that is equal to 7.5. So, yung U natin is 7.5. Ano ba yung 7.5? 7.5 is between what? 7th and 8th data. So, ibig sabihin, yung posisyon ng upper quartile natin nasa pagitan ng 7th and 5th data. Parang katulad nito kanina nitong Q1 natin, di ba? Yung Q1 natin, nung kinuha natin yung L is the position of the first quartile. Ang nakuha natin is 2.5. Yung 2.5, that is between the second and third data. So that means the first quartile or Q1 is any number between the second data, and third data. Ang second data is 3, ang seventh data is 7. So, ibig sabihin, kung ano man yung lower quartile, nasa pagitan lamang siya ng anumang number na nasa pagitan ng 3 and 7. And yung 5 na nakuha natin, na Q1, is correct kasi yung 5 nasa pagitan siya ng 3 and 7. So, ibig sabihin, yung quartile 1, hindi siya bababa sa 3 at hindi rin siya tataas sa 7. So, any number between 3 and 7, that is Q1 and that is equal to 5. For the upper quartile naman, yung nakuha, sinolve natin yung U, ang nakuha natin is 7.5. And 7.5, that is between the 7th and 8th data. Ano yung 7th and 8th data? Okay, bilangin natin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, 7th and 8th data is 27 and 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, this is the 7th data. This is the 8th data. So, ibig sabihin, kung ano man yung makukuha nating lower quartile or Q3, that is any number between 27 and 30. Hindi na siya bababa ng 27, hindi rin siya tataas ng 30. So, let's determine the third quartile by using linear interpolation. Katulad din ng ginawa natin dito sa first quartile, yung step ng linear interpolation, ganun din. So, determine the 7th and 8th data. So, we have to determine kung ano yung 7th and 8th data. And the 7th and 8th data is 27 and 30. So, magsusubtract tayo. I-minus ninyo yung mas maliit doon sa mas malaki. So, 30 minus 27. What is 30 minus 27? That is equal to 3. Yung 3 na nakuha ninyo, isulat doon sa second step, saan siya i-multiply? I-multiply doon sa decimal point ng U na sinolve natin. So, yung decimal point na nakuha natin is 0.5. So, 3 times 0.5. And 3 times 0.5 is 1.5. Yung 1.5 na nakuha natin, saan nyo siya idadagdag? Idadagdag nyo siya doon sa mas maliit na value, which is 27. So, what is 1.5 plus 27? 28.5. Therefore, Q3 is equal to 28.5. Or the third quartile or upper quartile is 28.5. It makes sense. Kasi, dito tayo sa third step, yung 1.5, bakit sa 27 or sa lower data ninyo, ia-add? Hindi doon sa upper data. Kapag yung 1.5, ini-add sa 30, the upper data, ang makukuha natin is 31.5. Magkakamali na tayo sa sagot natin kasi noong kinuha natin o hinanap natin yung position ng third quartile, ang sabi, the third quartile is just between the 7th and 8th data. So, kung yung 1.5, idadagdag nyo dun sa 30, that is 31.5, mas mataas na siya sa 30. Wala na siya sa pagitan ng 27 and 30, which is the 7th and 8th data. That is why, yung product ng 3 and 0.5, so that is 1.5, dun nyo lang idadagdag sa smaller data. So, therefore, our upper quartile is equal to 28.5. So, ang sagot natin, the first quartile is equal to 5 and the third quartile is equal to 28.5. How about the median by using linear interpolation? Pwede rin naman. So, let's say, yung median natin, median or Q2. So, di ba ang Q2 is gitna, 1/2. So, to get Q2, 1/2 times n plus 1. So, 1/2 times, ang n natin is 9 plus 1. So, 1/2 times 10. So, 1 times 10 is 10 divided by 2, that is 5. So, therefore, ang Q2 natin is 5. This is the fifth data. What is the fifth data in the distribution? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, no need for linear interpolation kasi yun yung gitna natin, the middle values. Therefore, our Q2 is equal to 5. Okay? So, for decile and percentile, maggagawa na lang ako ng another video for that kasi masyado nang mahaba ang video na ito. Baka maboard na kayo, skip na lang kayo ng skip, hindi nyo na pakikinggan. And also, gagawa ako ng iba pang video for more examples ng pagkuha ng quartiles. Okay? Bye-bye!